Hello everyone, welcome to Dark Romance. Tonight, you'll step into a world where love is dangerous, obsession is a weapon, and the past never stays buried. This is Caught Up, a dark romance story soaked in betrayal, lust, and the kind of pain that never truly heals. If you like stories where monsters crave love, and love creates monsters, you're in the right place. Now, let the darkness begin.
There's something about the past that never dies. You bury it, you run from it, but it always knows your name. And tonight, it calls her home. Lyric is back in Chicago after years of silence, back where the streets still whisper her name like a ghost, back where the pain is stitched into every sidewalk crack. She never planned to return, never wanted to face what she left behind, especially him. But the city doesn't let you go, not when you've bled for it. And definitely not when the man you once gave everything to is now the one running its darkest corners. Cain, the man with eyes like frost and a past as jagged as hers. They were fire once, burning, reckless, dangerous. But fire always leaves scars. And when Lyric walks into his club, uninvited and unannounced, it isn't a reunion, it's a storm. He sees her like she's a ghost, like he's not sure if he should touch her or shoot her, like time never passed and hate never faded. "You got a lot of nerve showing up here," he says. But it's not just anger in his voice. It's possession. It's memory. It's the kind of hunger that only ever existed for her. She needs his help, just this once. And he agrees, but not without a price. Because Cain doesn't do favors. He makes deals, and Lyric is already caught in a web of her own secrets. She may have returned to escape a nightmare, but she just stepped into another. The kind with dark corners and familiar lips, the kind that doesn't ask for your consent, only your surrender. Cain's offer isn't generous, it's calculated, cold. He leans back in his chair, tattoos stretching over tense muscle, his fingers tapping rhythmically on glass, like he's counting down her soul. "You want protection," he says. "Then you're mine until I say otherwise." Lyric should walk away. She knows this game, she knows him, but she also knows the monsters chasing her aren't bound by logic. And Cain? He's the only monster who ever protected her. So she agrees. One word, one nod. That's all it takes. Suddenly she's back in his world, the one of smoky rooms, whispered threats, and velvet promises edged in steel. He moves her into his penthouse like it's a cage, dressed in silk. Like keeping her close is mercy, when it feels more like control. He watches her constantly, like he's waiting for her to lie. Like her presence is a drug he hates being addicted to. "You look at me like you still hate me," she whispers one night. Cain doesn't answer right away. He steps closer, then closer, until her breath is gone, and all that remains is heat and memory. "I don't hate you," he says low. "I hate that I still want you." The silence after is deafening. The kind that says everything they've both tried to forget is still alive, raw and screaming beneath the surface. She didn't come here to fall back in. But with Cain, falling was never a choice. Every move she makes inside Cain's penthouse is watched, not by security cameras, not by guards, by him. He doesn't speak much, but when he does, his voice slices through silence like a blade, low, sharp, undeniable. "There are rules, Lyric," he says, standing at the edge of her door, eyes shadowed in dim light. "You follow them, or you're gone." Her lips twitch, not quite a smirk, not quite a scream. "Then throw me out." He doesn't. Because he wants her there. wants her close. Even if he'll never admit it out loud, because distance never protected them from each other, it only made the ache sharper. She showers with the door cracked because the lock sticks. He never walks in, but he listens. Every drop, every breath. And when she steps out in nothing but a towel dripping water onto his expensive hardwood floors, he's standing there, not by accident. Their eyes meet like loaded guns. And the tension? It's suffocating. "You playing with fire," he says darkly. Lyric steps forward, bare feet silent. "Maybe I want to burn." But he doesn't touch her. Not yet. Because Cain doesn't play impulsively. He waits until the game's rigged in his favor. He wants her begging, broken, dependent, not like before when she left him bleeding. This time, she'll stay. Because this time, he's not just protecting her. He's owning her.
Lyric doesn't sleep well. Not in this place, not under his roof. She dreams of old wounds and broken promises, of whispered lies and the sound of a door slamming shut behind her, of Cain's hands, on her throat, on her waist, in her hair, but never holding her like she was something worth keeping. She wakes in a sweat, and he's there, in the shadows of the hallway, watching like a phantom. "I heard you scream," he says, voice rough, sleep-laced. She swallows hard. It was just a dream. But dreams don't make her flinch when he reaches for her. Dreams don't leave bruises on her soul. He pauses, then steps back. "You don't have to be scared of me," he says. She almost laughs, bitter and broken. "I'm not scared of you, Cain. I'm scared of what you make me feel." And for a second, just a flicker, his eyes soften, like he remembers what they used to be. Before the guns, before the betrayals, before he turned into the man she should run from. "You left," he says, voice cracking beneath the surface. "You disappeared and never looked back." She doesn't respond. She can't. Because if she speaks, she'll bleed. And Cain. He never liked blood unless he caused it. But something shifts that night. A look. A silence. A moment too long. And Lyric knows. This time he won't just break her heart. He'll break her entirely. Lyric doesn't sleep well. Not in this place, not under his roof. She dreams of old wounds and broken promises, of whispered lies and the sound of a door slamming shut behind her, of Cain's hands, on her throat, on her waist, in her hair, but never holding her like she was something worth keeping. She wakes in a sweat, and he's there, in the shadows of the hallway, watching like a phantom. "I heard you scream," he says, voice rough, sleep-laced. She swallows hard. It was just a dream. But dreams don't make her flinch when he reaches for her. Dreams don't leave bruises on her soul. He pauses, then steps back. "You don't have to be scared of me," he says. She almost laughs, bitter and broken. "I'm not scared of you, Cain. I'm scared of what you make me feel." And for a second, just a flicker, his eyes soften, like he remembers what they used to be, before the guns, before the betrayals, before he turned into the man she should run from. "You left," he says, voice cracking beneath the surface. "You disappeared and never looked back." She doesn't respond. She can't. Because if she speaks, she'll bleed. And Cain, he never liked blood unless he caused it. But something shifts that night. A look, a silence, a moment too long. And Lyric knows. This time he won't just break her heart. He'll break her entirely.
Cain was never gentle. Not in business, not in bed, not in life. But with Lyric, it's different. even if he pretends it isn't. She catches it in the way he watches her from the kitchen, his jaw clenched, his fists resting on the counter like he's holding himself back. Like every second she breathes under his roof chips away at the armor he spent years perfecting. "You're not the same man I left," she says one night, voice low. He looks at her, eyes glinting like steel. "No, I'm worse." But she doesn't flinch. She steps closer, because part of her wants the worst of him, needs it, needs to see if the monster still remembers how to be hers. Kane closes the space between them in 2 strides. His hand grips her jaw, not rough but not soft either. A possessive touch, a warning. "You don't get to come back here and play brave, Lyric," he growls. "You left me bleeding in the street like I was nothing. And now you think you can just what? Sleep in my bed and make me forget?" Her voice doesn't waver. "I never forgot. Not a single day." Silence swallows them whole. Then he kisses her. It's not gentle. It's fire. It's rage. It's everything he's held back, crashing into everything she's been afraid to want. And she lets in. Because this isn't about healing. It's about burning the past down together. The morning after should feel like shame. It doesn't. It feels like gravity. Like the moment the rope goes taut around your neck and you realize you don't want to be saved. Lyric wraps herself in his shirt, the scent of him still clinging to her skin like smoke. Kane watches her from across the room, shirtless, coffee in hand, jaw tight. He says nothing. Because he knows last night wasn't about lust. It was about ownership, control. The unspoken truth neither of them can run from. They're still each other's weakness. But outside these walls, danger grows. The man chasing Lyric, the one who nearly ended her life, has found her trail. And Kane, he's already 2 steps ahead. "I'll handle it," he says, sliding a gun into his holster. Lyric touches his arm. "You don't have to do this for me." He looks at her, and something flickers in his eyes, something ancient and broken. "I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it because no one gets to hurt what's mine." The club is quiet tonight. Too quiet. Kane knows the silence of death better than most. And when the first shot shatters the glass, his instincts take over. He moves like a shadow. Precision, violence, wrath. The rival gang sent a message. Kane sends a body bag. But in the aftermath, Lyric sees something new. The man she once loved is gone. What remains is something darker. Not just dangerous, but soulless. "You don't blink anymore," she whispers, looking at his blood-soaked knuckles. "Because I stopped pretending I'm not a monster," he replies. And Lyric? She's scared. Not of him. Of herself. Because even now, she still loves him. Lyric keeps secrets. But Kane's not done digging. When he confronts her with the file, photos, threats, everything she's been hiding, his voice is ice. "You lied to me. Again." Tears don't work on him, but truth does. "I ran because staying meant dying," she says. "You were becoming something I couldn't survive. I loved you, and it was killing me." For a moment, he's still. Then he turns away. Just a shadow, retreating. "You should have let me die," he mutters. "Would have been easier than this." But they both know. Neither of them were built for easy. They try to leave. One last deal, one last clean exit. But this world doesn't allow freedom. It demands sacrifice. Kane takes a bullet meant for Lyric. She screams, blood on her hands, his name on her lips. And in that moment, everything fades. The rage, the past, the pain. All that remains is the boy who once kissed her under street lamps and promised forever. He survives, barely, but something inside him breaks clean, because love has always been his weakness, and now it's his salvation. Weeks pass. The city quiets. The war is over, for now. Kane recovers, scarred but breathing. Lyric stays, not because she has to, because this time she chooses him. "I'm not afraid of the monster anymore," she says, curled against him in bed. He looks at her, voice rough. "You should be." But she smiles, because love is the most dangerous thing of all, and they've already bled for it. They're not healed, they're not whole, but they're together, caught up in something deeper than fear, something that no one, not the past, not the world, not even death, can take away.
And that was Caught Up, a love story built on scars, secrets, and the fire they swore they'd never return to, yet couldn't escape. Thank you for watching this immersive journey into the depths of dark romance. If this story left a mark on you, stay close. Because here at Dark Romance, love is never safe. If you're drawn to dangerous love and stories that scar, like the video and subscribe to Dark Romance, because this is only the beginning.